Trench is open source analytics infrastructure that allows you to track millions of events per second and then query these events as well in real time. So today what we're going to do is that we're going to set up Trench on a Linux machine, and then we're going to send a tracking event to Trench from a website, and then we're going to build a dashboard with Grafana that shows all the website traffic. Let's get started. So we'll start over here in a terminal, and what we'll do is that we'll go to the Trench GitHub, and then we will just copy these install instructions to get started. So I'm going to go over here, this tab, and then paste this in. Now that we have Trench running locally, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to install the Trench.js client on my website. So I'm just going to do install Trench.js. Here we go. I'm going to now jump over into VS Code. And what I already prepared here is the code I need to, one, connect to my Trench instance. I have it running on this URL here. This is my public API key I use for writing things. And then basically here is tracking the current page event. And that's all I need to track whatever page the user is on. So what happens now is that if when I open my browser and go over here to my local host, is that every time I refresh this, it's going to track an event in Trench. So let's verify that this data is actually ending up in Trench. And the way we can do that is that we can just inspect here and go over here to network, and we should see a network call here to events right here, and you can see that it's working. Great. Now, as the next step, we're going to look at all this data on a graph, and we're going to do that by connecting Grafana to Trench. So here I have Grafana running locally on my computer via Docker. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to connect to the Trench ClickHouse instance through Grafana. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to head over to add a new connection, and we're going to find ClickHouse. And then from here on, we're just going to take some time to add a new data source here and fill out the server address. And then we're going to click down here on save and test, and we should be able to connect. Okay, now that we connected Grafana to Trench, we're just going to go and create a new dashboard, and we're going to click add new visualization, and we're going to click this connection that we have from earlier. And we're going to go to SQL editor, and then we're going to paste the SQL in here, which basically just selects from the events table and creates and selects the unique page views per user ID. So if we run this query now, we'll actually see this data, which is cool, of all the visitors that have visited my landing page here, and this is coming from Trench. So what you can see here is that this data looks pretty good. What we're going to do now to test is that I'm going to open a new incognito window, and then we should see that this graph here goes up by one number. And what's cool about this is that Trench is in real time, so you'll have this event be ingested really fast, so you should be able to see that right after refreshing. So let's go and try this. So I'm going to open a new incognito window here, and then I'm just going to go to localhost, and then that's it. That should be enough. This should trigger a page view. So now when I refresh this, we should see this graph here jump up. Great, it works. And with that, we've built a mini version of Google Analytics with Trench in just a few minutes.